About 6 months ago, I had this opportunity to take this intro to medicine class, where along with the doctor that gave us the class, we were discussing about how the human race lived under a pact. The pact of, I don't kill you if you don't kill me. And that phrase got me thinking a lot. First, because it's true. And second, because it's very sad. So I started to think a lot about that phrase. And I thought about how great it would be to change that ideal, to change that ideology to, well, instead of, I don't kill you if you don't kill me, well, what about if I help you and you help me? Well, that I know now. Now I know the importance of giving yourself to others, and now I know the importance of contributing to the world in that part of being in social service. But my 15-year-old self, that was about 3 years ago, didn't know that. I remember that I was about to face this phase of change. I was about to finish middle school to get to high school. And in that process of change, of school, of friends, and in my personal case of house, I was analyzing my life. I wanted to know if I was happy with who I was becoming. I wanted to know if what I was doing made me very happy. And I realized that something was missing in my life. At that time, I didn't know what it was, but I knew that something was missing. And because I've been raised in a Catholic family, for me, being a good girl was going to Mass on Sundays, going to confession, going to communion. Well, yeah, but that sounds very selfish. And after analyzing my life, I realized one important thing. I wasn't doing anything for others. And that bothered me a lot. So when I get to my new high school, it was great because this new high school brought me a lot of opportunities to help others. And I've always had this idea of being a missionary. I've always had this idea of getting out of my house with a group of people that you may not know, to sleep on the floor, to eat things that you're not used to not shower for a week and to not have a proper bathroom for a week. And I wanted to experience that adventure. I didn't really know what being a missionary really was, but I wanted to experience that adventure. So when I was 15 years old, 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to go on my first missionary trip as a missionary. And in that moment, my life changed. In that moment, that thing that I felt that something was missing in my life, I had found a thing that passioned me. But what does being a missionary really mean? There's this past idea, and there's this stereotyped idea that some still have, that missionaries are a group of people that go to colonize a community. That go to colonize a community to impose their own ideas, religious ideas. And that was the past idea of what being a missionary really is. But nowadays, what does being a missionary really mean? The name stayed, but the approach changed. Nowadays, being a missionary means to become the most humble version of yourself. And in that process of becoming the most humble version of yourself, you're going to be able to give yourself at 100% to others. And it took me 1 or 2 mission trips to understand this real meaning of being a missionary. Because at first, you go as a missionary thinking that because you have all the education, and because you have all the resources, and because you have all the economic advantages, you're better than everybody. You're better than those families who are poor and that have no education. But that's not true. As I'm telling you, it took me 1 or 2 trips to understand that we're the same as them. Because being a missionary, it's not about being the savior and going to the poor to teach them because you have better education. You can ask any missionary you know, and they will tell you the same thing that I'm about to tell you. We think that we go as teachers, but the real thing is that we go as students. And any missionary can tell you that at the end, we're the ones that end up learning more from the people that we go to visit than what we can possibly teach to them. These mission trips that I started 3 years ago were my way of finding my self-realization. And it is amazing to see, to step out of my life and see that in the process of finding my passion, that in the process of doing what I love, I'm achieving my self-realization and I'm achieving the self-realization of other people. It is amazing to see, and it is amazing to think that as I'm being the best version of myself, I'm making someone else's life better in whatever possible way that we can make it better. So here's the thing about talking to giving yourself to others and to being involved in the social projects. It bothers me a lot that when I talk about these things with a lot of people stay in the material part. We talk about giving ourselves to others, and everybody says, well, let me give money to the poor. Let me give them food. Let me give them clothes. But what if I tell you that there is something way more important than those material things? Yeah, those basic needs are important. I won't argue with you about that. But what if I tell you that there is something way more transcendent than money, food, and clothes? Because what about our time? What about our patience? What about us sitting down with a family or with a lady to talk about her life and to listen to her? Now those things will make a greater impact on anyone's life than money, food, and clothes. And let's not confuse things. Yeah, being a missionary has a religious purpose. But time, your love, your patience, you sitting down to listen to someone has nothing to do with religion. You don't need to be Catholic, you don't need to be Christian, you don't need to be Muslim to give yourself to others and to guide your life to bring good to others. Because those who are forgotten, those who are unwanted, those who are unloved, just want someone that cares. And us, as missionaries, that's our mission. To care for those who think are forgotten. These mission trips led me to find my real passion. And this passion led me to see that passion helped bring good to others. But being a missionary is my way of finding my self-realization and bringing good to others. Everybody is born with different talents. And having a talent does not mean playing an instrument or being good at a sport only. There are infinite talents that we can put at the service of others. And it's our job to find that talent. It's our job to embrace that talent and put it at the service of others. So we can be the change of that ideology of I don't kill you, you don't kill me, to I help you, you help me. There's this quote that I like very much in a movie that says, it's not who you are underneath, but it's what you do that defines you. And my 15-year-old self wasn't doing anything that defined me. She was going to communion, she was being confessed, she went to Mass. But that's very selfish. Now, I've become that person that defined who I am now. Now, I find my passion and practice that passion constantly that define myself. By now, I just returned from my 5th mission trip that I started 3 years ago. And I'm amazed at how I was able to take that passion, to embrace that passion, and to be happy myself and to bring happiness to others. So I dare you. I dare you to find your passion. I dare you to find the things that make your heart beat a little bit faster. And if you already know your passion, I dare you to guide that passion, to direct that passion to help others. Because it's in you and it's in me to change that initial ideology. So what's your passion? What makes your heart beat faster? Thank you.